Well, before you put that green chili on your eggs this morning, listen up.
Yeah, it is no bueno, you could say, because Bueno Foods, company based here in Albuquerque, is issuing a voluntary recall on all of its frozen green chili. This comes after a test on its uncooked chili turned up small amounts of listeria. The folks at Bueno do not think it came from their plant in Albuquerque, though.
I buy a lot of the Bueno products, and like I said, man, it's unfortunate that that's happened to us here in New Mexico.
Most meals are served with green chili, so I think it is a good thing on their part that it is brought to the public's attention.
A spokesperson from Bueno tells us no one is reported getting sick so far from the chili, and the company says if you have some of it, you don't necessarily have to throw it away. Just be sure you cook it all the way before you eat it. I think it's something like 175 degrees. The proposed constitutional amendment to legalize pot for recreational use here in New Mexico has been snuffed out, but with a promise to return. The Senate Rules Committee deadlocked on the legal pot bill yesterday, so it's stuck there and probably won't get out. All 4 Republicans on the committee and 1 Democrat, Clemente Sanchez, voted against the plan. The sponsor, Senator Jerry Ortiz y Pino, says pot getting legal is inevitable and he'll roll out his plan again next year.
A bipartisan bill to boost New Mexico's second economy is getting support. A Senate committee has unanimously approved the bill to give tax breaks to companies that make major investments or create a specific number of high-paying jobs here. Companies would have to keep the jobs for at least 2 years keep them going. New Mexico has one of the nation's worst economies and trails far behind the 4 corner states. A business owner in Santa Fe is asking state lawmakers to raise New Mexico's minimum wage. Restaurant owner Julia Castro says her employees are paid above Santa Fe's minimum wage, which is already higher than the state's minimum wage. A proposal is still pending in the Senate committee. It would boost the state's wage to $8.30 an hour next year.
Well, the state is still holding on to the hope that the spaceport will bring in a lot of money, and billionaire Sir Richard Branson says the flights will be happening soon. Flights will take place later this year, according to Mr. Branson here. This is after recent criticism that calls the project a pipe dream that will never get off the ground. Branson's comments are the reaction to the book called Branson Behind the Mask. It claims the Virgin Galactic's rocket motor is not powerful enough for space travel, and that the company has yet to prove the flights will be safe enough to get a license from the FAA. Mr. Branson says he will prove his critics wrong in the next few months when he plans to take his family on the very first flight. Well, discretionary allowances, car allowances, home allowances, all on top of 6-figure salaries. Residents of New Mexico's 2-year community colleges are sitting pretty these days, all thanks to taxpayers. Last night on special assignment, Kitty Kim showed us some of the fringe benefits college presidents take home in addition to their nice salaries. Some include a membership to a country club, a home to live in, even $2,500 a month to spend on whatever the president likes, no receipts required. Government watchdogs say these perks, they're excessive.
New Mexico is a poor state. It's a state with a struggling economy. Yes, they are high-level executives, but that doesn't mean that they have carte blanche to just get as high of a salary and as many benefits as they can squeeze out of the taxpayers.
You want to see all these contracts? You want to see how the colleges are responding to this? Well, log on to KRQE.com. You can watch the story there anytime or check it out tonight at 9 o'clock on Tu Casa.
Shining lasers at airliners. It's a sick prank, and it's been happening to pilots flying into the Sunport in Albuquerque. And now the feds want to catch who is doing it. Officials say there were 27 reports last year, almost twice as many in 2012. The Albuquerque FBI office, along with 11 other offices, are taking part in a program to educate people about the dangers of doing this. They are offering up to a $10,000 reward, leading to the arrest of anyone pointing a laser at an airplane. One pilot says it's a real risk.
Having my eyesight is very important, and we take this very, very seriously. And so a laser can be a distraction, and it could also injure flight crew and passengers on board the airplane.
Just so you know, anyone caught faces a felony charge, a hefty fine, and possibly some jail time. Well, here is a weird story, a frightening one at that, for a woman who wakes up to strange howling and a man pulling the covers off of her bed. She says she heard a wolf-like howl early Monday around 1:30 in the morning and fell back asleep. Well, a couple hours later, police say 24-year-old Daniel Gallegos, seen here, broke into this woman's house in southwest Albuquerque and went into her room. She says Gallegos pulled the covers off and complimented her and then left. Officers say when they confronted Gallegos outside, he smelled like alcohol. Gallegos told police he had been out drinking but didn't remember anything. He is charged with aggravated burglary.
The teacher hit by a suspected drunk driver while pushing her son and APD service aide out of the way to save them is getting a lot of support from the community. Tanya McCullough here has a long road to recovery with several broken bones after the crash from last week. Her first graders from John Baker Elementary have been sending her homemade get well cards, complete with watercolors and some very adorable notes. Meanwhile, parents and teachers are helping with her classroom and even cooking meals for her family.
We've just had an outpouring of support. I mean, our phones ring off the hook, and not just from the parents in our classroom.
A donation site is set up to help with Ms. McCullough's mounting medical bills. If you'd like to help, you can go to our website at krqe.com and click on the links section. Well, Albuquerque's Animal Welfare Office and Animal Humane are teaming up with the ASPCA to save pets and find forever homes for them. The partnership will help the agencies figure out their goals, strategies, and their needs. They'll also have the opportunity to apply for some really cool grants. Last year, about 27,000 homeless animals went to these shelters here. The ASPCA's investment will help reduce animals getting euthanized. It'll add free spay and neutering programs, and it'll increase adoptions.